Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this webinar today. My name, welcome to the Cultural Brokers Network of Canada, otherwise known as CBNC. This is our webinar series. I believe this is our fourth or fifth webinar now. So we, want to keep doing these consistently. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. CBNC is a nonprofit organization that supports and promotes the work of cultural brokering, working in various sectors across Canada, and it was established in 2023. I will put the website in the chat for everybody so you can have a look at it. It's culturalbrokers.ca. I just put it in the chat there. My name is Jonathan Wade, and I'm the Digital Communications Coordinator for the National Cultural Brokers Project, and I work at Manitoba Possible in Winnipeg. I'll be your host for today's event. Today's session is looking at violence prevention for health and safety in the cultural brokering practice. So this webinar will explore the critical role of cultural brokering in promoting health and safety through effective violence prevention strategies. By understanding how anger manifests and how we respond to it, we can better navigate tense situations and prevent escalation. We'll also cover the anger cycle, warning signs, and how being aware of our surroundings can help us spot problems early and take steps to calm things down before they escalate. Before we introduce today's presenter, I just want to go through a few housekeeping items. We've muted your microphones and your cameras I turned off your cameras for now, just to allow for better clarity and less feedback. Your microphone will be unmuted for any interactive parts and the question and answer kind of part near the end. But throughout the presentation, if you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the chat and we can kind of answer them as we go. And I believe, Tiffany will say when there's kind of some interactive parts where, you can put your stuff in the chat. And yeah, we'll answer as many questions as time permits. And we'll move on to kind of highlighting today's presenter. So her name is Tiffany Pau from Manitoba Possible in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Tiffany Pau is an experienced professional with over 25 years of expertise in cultural brokering. She currently serves as a cultural resource facilitator at the Newcomer Navigation Support Unit at Manitoba Possible. Tiffany also brings 16 years of experience as a resource center coordinator at the MFL Occupational Health Center, where she has dedicated herself to supporting workplace health and safety initiatives. A certified trainer in de-escalating potentially violent situations, she's committed to providing workplace violence prevention training, helping organizations maintain safe and supportive environments for all employees. Over to you, Tiffany. We'll put your PowerPoint up so we can get that going.
Thank you, Jonathan. So good afternoon, everyone. So I'm so glad to be invited to doing the session here. So the topic is about cultural brokering, violence prevention for the health and safety. This is more about kind of introductions, to increase awareness, what our role we are at, when we are meeting clients, going to any places to work with, work alone ourselves, and also meeting clients and family in their home settings, right? And even the surrounding and territory awareness. So I'm waiting for Jonathan to put up the slide. And yeah, the next slide we are going to, before the presentation, we were going to acknowledge that we are providing this virtual presentation on Treaty 1 territory. And that the Manitoba is located on the territories on the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Dakota Oyate, the Nissenees, and Nahuatl nations, and on the national homelands on the Red River Métis Nation. We acknowledge that northern Manitoba includes territories of the Inuit. As we gather on the Treaty 1 territory, we recognize Treaty 3 territory, in particular Salt Lake 40 First Nation, and the source of Winnipeg's clean water, drinking water. We also acknowledge Treaty 5 territories, including Nelson River, which provides us with access to most of our electricity. We acknowledged the devastating, lasting, and ongoing impact of settler colonialism on Indigenous people and the deep lack of action towards truth and reconciliations. The next slide is about what we'll go through for this afternoon. 1 hour probably is kind of really short time to go through this really little bit heavy topic, but we will try to make it more participatory, and I will ask you to put answer on the chat. We will go through things, hopefully you will find it is quite an interesting kind of the conversation to bring in for this hour. We will be talking about like the anger cycle, how the people will be from really normal stage, they trigger them, and then they become angry, and then to the breaking point. And understanding some of the warning signs you notices from the individual you're working with, and also the awareness about the surrounding and territory where we are going to making ourselves, more safe and healthy. We are working at any time we are going to. So we want to go through the next 9 is about the violence definition. This is the definition, from the Manitoba Workplace Health and Safety Act. This definition refers to the actions and threats that involve physical force or makes someone believe force will be used against them. It also includes both actual violence and behavior, or the words that create a reasonable fear of harm. So if you be accessed online about the Manitoba Workplace Health and Safety Act and Regulation, this is a really, really big publication. Then you could download it yourself to get the act and also some of the regulation, definition, everything you may want to get some resources from. So in the session, first of all, I was going to ask you, how often do you find yourself in the situation where you are interacting with a client who is angry and escalating? So can you please put your answer in the chat, okay, about if you have the experiences of daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or even never experiences before? Yeah, I just want to see how you'll respond on that. Yeah, I saw yearly, monthly. Yeah. This is not too bad. Yeah, but you know that in some of the cases, some of the workers, especially healthcare workers or healthcare provider or some other job, they are dealing with client who is angry all the time. It's more kind of seeing that is the daily basis. But of course, as I said that, violence is not part of the job. Some people think that, oh no, I'm dealing with lots of clients and patients. They really, really escalate most of the time. This is part of my job. I get used to it. But no, we have to making sure ourselves we work safely and healthily, making sure we not get harm, get injury, and then go back home every day. Next slide, we are going to cover a little bit about, can you go to the previous slide, please, Jonathan? Yeah, talking about what is it about anger. So understanding how we react when we are angry, that can help us with the process of the escalating. Especially, sometimes it could help us to understand what is behind the anger. And sometimes sadness on some people and fear are behind on the anger too. What they people feel angry? What make them feel angry? For some of the cases when we are working with clients and the family, right? So you may want to find out why they're angry or frustrated about for certain thing. They maybe have some hidden reason on that, right? So I'm going to ask you some questions, some statement. Then you could put it on the chat from the scale 1 to 10 to rate how frustrated and angry you are. okay, for some of the following events. Number one is mean no, not at all. You're not frustrated. You're not angry. But up to 10 will be, oh yeah, we really, really bothering you. You feel so frustrated and angry. First of all is you are late to some of the event. You're going late. You feel frustrated from scale 1 to 10. Some emphasis 3. How about the others? Yeah. Oh, 5, 6, 9. Yeah, this is very interesting. You can see the number is really from the lower number, from 3, from 5, or even 9. And then how about someone else is late? You're waiting for a friend. They're not showing up half an hour, even 1 hour later. Do you think really frustrated? From 1 to 10. 4, 0. 1, 2, 8. Ha! Very interesting. Hey, how about this one? When you're driving, someone cuts you off in traffic. Are you really angry about that? From 1 to 10. Yeah, 3, 5, 9, 8, 5. Yeah, that's just very interesting, right? You could find that from different events, even same event, we react differently. Some interesting thing, the numbers showing in some cases is bothering you so much, but however, same situation, not at all, right? This is why we have to figure out, what inside of some individual mind or experiences, what's the reason triggered them, right? And then how about this? So, do you find hungry makes you more reactive or also really irritating you? Being hungry, being hungry, do you think 1 to 10 is really irritating you? Being hungry, right? Yeah. How about being in pain? You're suffering lots of sore and pain. You got lots of health issues all the time you have, right? Yeah, you can see the number goes up 7, 9, 8, Yeah, this exercise help us to understand the different level of anger. For example, frustrated, mad, angry, very angry, or even enraged, right? This also helps us to see what makes one person angry, but does not necessarily impact another person, right? In the same situation. And also, what makes you angry one day may not bother you the next week, for example. So very, very interesting. You could see same situation that apply to everyone, they react really, really differently. And also, what is the important point of this exercise is what causes one person to escalate, but may not be the same one, same for someone else. For example, and even you could find that our perception is colored by our personal experiences, beliefs, emotions, and even cultural conditioning. We all coming from different, ethnic background and cultural background. Some beliefs and emotion and values that we see things so differently, right? That this ties in the lens at which we look at someone who is escalating and emotionally deregulated. So somehow we ask ourselves, do we use a problem lens or a trauma informed lens to see some situation? So next slide, we're talking about some warning sign. When we're working with some individual, when someone angry, then you will be somehow really obviously you could see that sign on the face, or even some behavior, their voice, they talk louder, they talk faster, and even use some abrasive languages. They try to avoid the eye contact, shaking, right? So can you tell me on the chat, okay, what does your response look like and feel like when you get angry? When you get angry, how that will be look like? Please put it on the chat and see. I want to see how you will respond on that. Yeah, really faster face. Faster face, your turn red, physical symptoms like heart racing, out of breath, you walk away. Oh yeah. Yeah, and even you try to talk faster when you get angry, you're frustrated. You try to be, wasting your word, you're talking faster and faster. And even you try to defend your stance and opinion. Ah, that's really interesting. Thank you so much, to tell me all your sign will be look like when you get frustrated. Yeah, talking faster, sweating. That's a really, really common. Or even you're changing your voice. Wow. Yeah. Then you could sign those kind of sign you could really, really able to see. But some of the sign may be really subtle, then you may not even really see it, right? Like people try to be try not looking at you, maybe that one you may not thinking they're angry, they may think, oh, they are maybe distracted by something, that's why they're not looking at you, right? So some sign is quite easy to pick it up, but some is really, really subtle, probably you may have to really careful to look at. um the next one will be talking a bit about the anger cycle. What does the anger cycle look like? First of all, when people was really, really calm, they will be on the really, really baseline, right? And why this is so important? When we understand well about the anger cycle, it is better for us to understand anger in ourselves, and the better to understand in ourselves, the better equipped we will be to understand anger in the others. And also more effective we could be de-escalating some emotional charged situation, right? More you understand well, is better for us to how to deal with the situation, right? So for the stage number one is the first part of the anger cycle is called incident and trigger, right? On the map here. So this is look like if something happened, like that individual will try to be have some internal side. Um, the trigger will cause us like this pressure, this approval, and also, for example, like incident in traffic when people don't put the turning signal on. Oh my goodness, why this guy coming, not turning the signal on, right? And some people like eat your leftover food in the public share fridge at workplace. You're not marked it, but someone took it, then you kind of it trigger you, right? There is come really subtle internal shift and really slight invitation that may not even be conscious to you. Yeah, I saw someone put, driver not knowing how to use the roundabout. Yeah, this is common to me too when I first, finding, the city map when you're driving to some certain area. That roundabout really drove me crazy, to be honest. I did have a tough time to learn how to do a drive about roundabout, but yeah, something, little bit thing trigger you, right? Stage two is escalation. Escalation, during this period, a person may visually and verbally express their frustration, like those warning signs you could see, right? Like and also that warning sign like increase the breathing, the muscle tension, even the breath flow away from the forebrain. That individual who are angry have lost their control sometime too. They find, oh, it's really hard to kind of calm themselves down, and individual who are anger also can suffer from a temporary loss of emotional self regulations. So those people in that escalation stage, they already kind of getting really frustrated and angry, but however not going to the breaking point yet. But in this stage, if you be able to using some strategy to de-escalating successfully, that would be great. But however, in that stage, you find it, you really want to end the conversation and the meeting, you may want to try to appropriately to end the conversation and to leave the situation. Stage three, breaking point. Breaking point when the people reach a point where they ain't be able to escalate in a controlled manner. They are unable to control themselves. They are out of control level, saying that. They will starting to yelling, right? And also make threats and also seriously potential violence behavior. You never know what happened next. So this is so important at this point. You don't want to be saying this like, oh, try to relax, okay, Peter, or saying that don't get, worked up, don't be too sensitive, don't take things so personally. It's not working that way. At that time, people cannot listen to you. They are out of control. No matter what you say, not working at all. So, stage four, this is about recovery. Recovery is after the situation when this is over, the body works towards regaining balance. And the normal blood level will be returned to the forebrain, and the person is able to regain full awareness and assess their response. In this result, they feeling guilty, they feeling shame, they feeling kind of even sometimes relieved that the incident has passed. Why they feel guilt? Because after that, they will feel, oh, this is too bad. I did that. I yelled at you. I didn't even know that before. Then they feel shame because, oh, they're so bad, to yell at you, right? Or do something, you feel threatened, right? In this point, is everything is over. But there may be some conversation. You may need to talk with the people in this stage after. But somehow we always find listening involves taking hearing one step further. We try to pay attention and find meaning in what we hear is good things. Listening requires we become more open to the meaning of the other person's words, right? And also in a real way, we enter to the experiences those words are meant to convey. So patience and listen to what they need is really, really good solution. Yeah. So next slide, we want to kind of cover a little bit about awareness. What does it awareness mean? I'm going to show you a video. So Jonathan, can you play this video? I can hear you. You're muted. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, I'm going to share the window so we can hear the sound. Here we go.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make?
Go!
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
Go!
Yeah, very interesting video. The first time I saw this video, no, I miss it. I didn't see the wood mocking bear at all. I said, where's the moon mocking bear, right? I just focuses on, how many passes, of the ball there are, right? And then what is the messages of this video, right? Situational awareness, surrounding awareness, like why this is important, right? Being aware of our surrounding is essential in case the situation further escalate. So, for example, so are we alone in this situation? Check where's the nearest exit we are at. Check any object in the room which can be threatening, right? Like any pet, any dogs, anything in the room. And also, it can be really hard to focus when you're busy and scared. When you're busy on something, right? You never pay attention on something should be pay attention to, right? And we also can miss important information if we are not present and focused well, right? So I find, this video is bring a really, really good message is sometimes we have to pay attention to the right things, making sure we stay focused, all the surrounding we are at to making sure we are safe. So next slide, we are talking about in awareness kind of the step. First of all, it's about quick self-check. Quick self-check is what is happening for me right now. We're asking ourselves some questions, okay? And reveal where we are is ask yourself what is happening in your environment and what you can notice. And how about this, observe the behavior? Like when you're talking with someone, pay attention to the client, individual, even the family you involve, what you are noticing, the behavior. Is there any warning sign come out, right? And finally, maybe you could choose any approach, right? To choose to engage, to attempt to de-escalate, or even you could disengage, leave the situation safely if you can, right? And we always said your safety is the priority for any jobs. So next slide is from the Crisis and Trauma Resources Institute. This is talking about the practices tips for awareness. The first one is about the cycle breathing. We're going to do something together on the next slide. And second one, self-talk. I just touched base a little bit on the previous slide. And number three, territory awareness, surrounding awareness, what we should focus on. safe distance, how you can keep the safe distance to some people, especially some individual you are just new or just initially first meeting, you meet with them. Eye contact, how you're using your eye contact, right? So now we are doing something interesting. This is called box breathing. It's used by Navy SEALs. That box breathing exercise will bring ourselves to present situation. Help us to see clearly of the situation, what's exactly going on, and how to respond. For practice the box breathing, so we'll try to do this to help us to calm ourselves down. So how that works is, first of all, you breathe in for 4 seconds and then hold it for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 4 seconds and hold it for 4 seconds. Mostly at the time we're in the situation, we do it twice. Maybe we could practice together, just do once, one round, and see how you feel. Okay, first of all, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breath out 2, 3, 4, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. This exercise, no matter when you do it, no one noticed that. You are not telling people, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. No, right? So when you're doing this, you're doing silently, right? So when you walk into the situation and you start to find it a little bit trigger you, you find frustrated or any situation, you're doing this both breathing exercise and box breathing. There's so many different kind of breathing exercise. I could put it even on the chat later. Then you could practice anytime to try to calm yourself. I want to find out from you. So beside that box breathing or breathing exercise, anything you in a situation you could find some way to relax or calm yourself down. Can someone could put some suggestion in the chat? That would be really nice. Besides breathing exercise, any ways you do it to calm yourself down? Yoga. Yoga is good. Try to stay in the present moment. Yeah, great, good idea. Go for a walk and running. Yeah, go for a walk and running is good. I'm trying to wait more respond, then we could move to the next discussion. Yeah. I will leave the situation, I will leave with few minutes and then go back. Otherwise, I found us to, hard to come calming. Yes, that's a really, really good suggestion. I did it before when I was in a really frustrated situation. I don't want to make any argument or conversation. I try to walk away myself and leave it until even the other party calm down and myself calm down, then to go back again for continue, the situation. Yeah, that's really, really good. Yeah, awesome. Next slide is about self-talk. Yeah. When you self-talk, when you are feeling confused or your emotion running high, right? You talk yourself through fears and judgment and anger. So any uncomfortable feeling you may have sometime, right? So in that situation, what you will saying to yourself, like to try to calm yourself down. If you want to say to yourself, I'm so angry, how do you say to yourself, okay, I may try, oh, Tiffany, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. I will do it that way. How about you? Of course, there's so many ways to talk to yourself. Okay, I got answer like I tell myself this is not as bad as I think. Oh yeah, that's really, really good to calm yourself down. Really positive way, right? That's good. Yeah. I have to stay quiet until I calm down. I should talk to this person later when my emotions settle. Yeah, that's a really, really good point too. Yeah, I like that too. Always know it when you get better, this situation won't last forever. Yes, it's very, very good. Thank you for all your comment. I really appreciate that you really participatory on that. Yeah, I tell myself after I sleep off that I will feel and think more clearly. Yeah, that's just really, really good. Yeah. So I will, because we just have another 20 minutes left, I really want to go to the next slide, if you don't mind, and talk about the territory and surrounding awareness. When we're going to a new environment, especially you need to meet a new client. This is the first time ever you haven't seen each other. So what is the awareness part you should do, right? And if you want to put it on the chat is when you are meeting someone new client and go to the new client home, what was something we needed to be aware of? Any tips? Then you really want to help each other to find out any tips we really need to be think about. At your workplace, for example, do you have kind of the initial violence assessment before you visiting the family? We do. Okay. So after the assessment, like we have the action plan, we could do it. And any other thing you suggest? Yeah, that's okay. Jonathan said, there's some internet cut off from his side. That's fine. We could have a conversation here. Yeah, Samantha said, yeah, I look at where the exits are. That's a really, really good point. Especially when you're going to apartment building, any new building. So where's the exit we should go when anything happen, right? Let the people know where you are going and when. That's a really, really good point. Yeah. Yeah. Tracy just said that we have the safety assessment and action plan I just mentioned. Yeah, we also talk to the person who made the referral to get more information to see if they have any concern and stresses. Yes, Manitoba Possible had really do a good job, for doing that. Yeah, protecting staff safe on this. And also, especially when we go into the new area, right? Find out, if this is in downtown or any really high crime neighborhood, right? Anything, or you have the cell phone with you, You could report it to someone, I'm going there, I finish and go back home safe, right? And also is we want to find it out like in the building we are going to, how's the lighting on the building? Like is any street lighting around, or is a parking nearby? Do we have to walk so far away, right? Whenever you leave your vehicle, before you step out, making sure you read it, watching it, review it, all your surrounding area before you step your feet out from your car, making sure you're safe, right? Or even in your parquet, you're parking close to the entrance, you're parking to not too far away. Encourage people to report unusual incident, and no matter how minor they are. Yes, very, very good point. Reporting is really good. Communication is very, very powerful tool. We have to making sure all the communication, education, resources to support the staff, right? Yeah, I think Jonathan still not able to join it back with us from some internet issues from his end. But that's okay. Maybe I could share screen, but when I share screen, I have the problem. I cannot access the chat. That's just the problem on my side too. So because I'm not too good on, he's having an internet issue. Yeah, I know. So be aware of your surrounding and what's your instinct telling you. Yes, you're right. If you find something not right, probably not going, right? You may want to reschedule your appointment. Don't leave your car, right? Call your client. Okay, there's something come up. Something come up, probably may need to reschedule. Don't take any chances, right? To have anything happen to us. Yeah. And also safer procedure. Safer procedure is so important, like like the action plan that Chasey just mentioned. Safer procedure is kind of step by step telling you anything happen, what you should do and follow, right? Report to the supervisor or have your supervisor investigate the situation. What is the backup plan? What's the resources provided to you and anything, right? So policy, several procedures should be updated really regularly to for any circumstances. Yeah, I am going to share my slide because Jonathan, let me see where's my slide is. Windows.
Yeah, so sorry, my internet just
No,
cut,
no,
so
no,
I just
it's
joined
happened.
on
It's
my
happened
phone.
all the time. But however, it's so interesting. I cannot share my slide. Don't know where is that now. Technical problems just always happen to us. It's very interesting. I have already opened my slide even this morning, but when I click share, it's not sharing.
Really? And you
Not,
can't check the screen at
it's
all?
not even there.
Darn.
Maybe I try
Oh.
to do an entire screen. Entire screen that will be there.
Yeah, you could do that and then go to the PowerPoint.
Can you guys see my entire screen?
Yes.
I don't know. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll go back to
Yeah, that's perfect.
here. It's done. Then I go to here and see. Hold on. I'm making sure I do it not here and then that. Is it all good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. Thank you.
But now I cannot see all the chat.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I'm under the chat.
But
and
that's okay. We almost finished, right? Yeah, it's all fine. So about the surrounding, right? Once we get into, you're able to meet this individual, right? So especially some clients is new, you ever met before, first time ever, or even you have been knowing them for a while, but you never know because any reason behind them will trigger them and make them angry and frustrated, right? Because they're suffering lots of pain, they have financial problem, they got lots of issue in the family, right? So what is it about? Paying attention to the individual, like the warning sign coming out, like body language, facial expression, right? The behavior of the individual coming out. Any physical, verbal things they show, right? Physical, like the cringe, the face, the eye blowing out and rolling, and then the face turn red. Yeah, and then or maybe they pacing back and forth, right? They try to talk faster, anything else, right? You notice that, especially in that situation. No matter what, anytime we may want to try to keep a safe distance with the individual we are working with. What does safe distance mean, right? For example, when you are in a meeting room, going to a meeting room or your office, you may want to find a seat close to the entrance, close to the door. Any situation you may want to leave, then much easier, right? Nearby the door. And also, when you are standing, right, we'll be making sure you may not kind of standing like face by face like that. You may have like the frontal turn a little bit straight it that way. Why? Because in that way, when you step back, then it's easy to turn and leave the room if the individual become more violent, right? Frontal turn is called. And somehow eye contact is very, very sensitive. If you are especially working with individual and family, they all coming from very different ethnic background. Eye contact, somehow eye contact, you look at each other through the eye is disrespectful. Somehow is for some culture, eye contact is good. You have to pay attention to the eyes, they're speaking. Right? So you have to find it out what the eye contact means to their country, right? What from their cultural background. And when you are meeting in a kind of a home setting or even at your offices, like you always may have some forms or some note or pamphlet, some resources information, but try to at least make 2 copies with you, one yourself, one to the individual. Try not to have someone just sit right beside you. Probably you may have someone to sit right across from you. Because why? Right? If someone pushing you is not that easy because it's across from you, not right side by side, right? So it's much easier. You may want to leave, it's easier for you to leave, right? And if you are in a new building or whatever, you may need to walk together. Try don't walk, especially someone you just met. Try don't walk in front of that. Have that individual behind you. There's a risk of someone will push you down or do anything. You never know, right? So try to be walking maybe a little bit side by side or kind of have a distance, but not have yourself really at the front. That guy right behind you, you cannot see anything behind you, right? So protect ourselves is really, really priority we have to thinking of. Anything else? You may have any questions about this or any comment you may want to sharing for all of us. You could put it in the chat. I will have Jonathan to help me to monitor the chat. That would really appreciate.
Yes, for sure. If anyone has any questions, please.
About paying attention to the individuals.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or any other tips you want to share, we could learn it from each other, right? So I just want to know, is anyone typing now or no? That I could,
Don't have anybody yet.
that's okay. Then I could just move to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, I'm not go through this one by one. This is something about the references to you on the legislation. This is the Criminal Code of Canada, and also have Mental Health Act, provincial, right? And depending on which provinces you're from, have different information you could find. And also the Freedom of Information and Protective Privacy, and the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, the Canadian Labor Code, and Occupational Health and Safety. Occupational health and safety, I just want to kind of emphasize a bit is, this is from Manitoba, from the Manitoba Workplace Health and Safety Act here, set out about rights and duties for occupational health and safety for all parties in the workplaces. On the Part 10 and Part 11 on the violence and harassment regulations, and speak to what needs to be included in a violence prevention policy. And something we may want to ask yourself is, does your organization provide regular training on the conflict resolution, or like the de-escalating emotional charge situation techniques, or communication skill to you, or have an updated violence prevention policy, harassment prevention policy, and respectful workplace policy in place in your workplaces? On the violence prevention policy, that includes employer and employees' responsibilities, definitions, training, workplace violence, risk assessment, reporting, investigation, and safer procedures, and resources and support the evaluation for the cases. So I think all of us should be aware that to references all those policy, yeah, when we're working on any individuals. Next slide, I just want to touch base a little bit. If you don't know about the MFL Occupational Health Center, we established in 1983 to meet the needs for quality and accessibility, comprehensive services on workplace health and safety. And the needs continue today too. And then we are the community health center specialized in workplace health and safety, located on 167 Sherbrooke Street. And all our services is free. We're helping the Joint Workplace Health and Safety Committee to improve workplace health and safety conditions and eliminate hazards. So we also have physicians to provide the medical services and assisting to workplace and informative fact sheet, resources sheet on variety of topics such as preventing repetitive strain injuries, respectful workplace, preventing workplace violence, something like that too. So you could even visit our website on oxcmb.ca. So now just only 2 minutes left. I would like to open to the floor. Have any questions? then I think I should stop sharing here.
Yes, that's perfect. I believe we had a couple comments in the chat. Someone said when people are angry, they can be unpredictable. So I like your tip about keeping distance. And yeah, this would be great to do at one of our local events or our gatherings. And yeah, that would be awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Not sure if anyone else has any other questions or comments. I don't know, Tiffany, if people have questions in the future, can they email you, or is there a kind of a better resource for?
Sure.
Yes, for sure. I can. I can
You
actually
could unmute someone if they want to say something.
Yes, I can kind of unmute people individually if they have something to say. Tracy, I can unmute you if you.
Yeah, I put my email here. Then if you want to touch base with me for any questions. And also I mentioned about that breathing exercise, right? I want to put that website on the chat too. That would be good for you could practice this if you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, let me know and I can unmute you, or if you have any comments, anything else. Otherwise, yeah, thank you, Tiffany. You can send her an email later. Let's see if anyone's typing, if there's anything else. Oh, just a thank you.
Thank you for your participation too. I really appreciate that you spending an hour to discuss that great.
Yeah. Well,
important
thank you.
topics, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well, yes, again, so sorry for the technical difficulties there.
It just happened.
Can never truly rely on technology. But yeah, thank you to everyone so much for joining, and the fantastic questions and all the participation. Thank you so much, and thank you, Tiffany, again so much for joining us today, and that super informative and great presentation. If you do want to learn more about CBNC, or if you're interested in becoming a member, which will actually get rolled out in the next week or two, so please stay tuned to our social media pages and our website for that, as a lot of news is going to be coming out about that shortly. But yeah, the website details were available in the chat, so it's culturalbrokers.ca. And yeah, please feel free to follow us on social media so you can stay updated with what we're doing to support cultural brokers across the country. And yeah, I hope to see one, if not all of you, at one of our future events, whether it's a gathering or a local event. But just stay tuned, and all the information will be on our social media pages and our website. But take care, everyone, and thank you so much for joining and for your time today.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.